مرحبا جميعا, hello Suzaman, всем привет, and hello everyone. Strikoder here, and welcome back to a new episode of the OSCP journey. In today's episode, we're gonna solve an easy Active Directory machine on HackTheBox called Sauna, where we have get changes over the DC, then we get the password or the password hash, and use secretsdump to get the hash of the administrator and sign in through Evil-WinRM. So let's get started. Let me copy the IB and export all. IB is equal to this, or mset to be more precise. Then we can run Nmap, and we see it's an almost 80 machine, like a domain controller, where we see DNS, we see web. So first of all, I would like to start with SMB, cd into this, no auth SMB. You can check my GitHub account at Strikoder and see the scripts. So you just provide the IB, and under the hood there is SMB client, netexec, and so on. So we try to authenticate as anonymous and as guest, but we still have nothing, which is okay. Based on the open ports, we can check the DNS as well. No auth DNS, but I need the domain, so I'm going to wait for the Nmap to finish, or we can get the domain from here, egotistical bank.local, whatever you like. Actually, let me copy the domain from now. And we see all of them. I'm going to pause and export all domain is equal to this whenever Nmap finishes. For now, I'm going to Firefox, take the IB again, and wait for the Firefox. Then, since it's port 80 HTTP that, proxy is on, I'm going to shut off that, or turn off that. And here we have our machine. So our website. We can enumerate directories. I will start in a bit. Let me check Nmap. It's still running. Oopsie. So actually we can start by the source code and by the technologies. We see nothing, but we see IIS. So probably it's gonna be a Windows, unless it's an Apache and we are in Linux, which is not the case in here. And or like inside a container. We can check the newsletter for we cannot write anything. I was going to write our IB, the IB of our machine, and check if we can access that or catch the response and see what we get. We see client 1, client 2, client 3. Are the links here clickable? Yes, they are, but they are mostly taking us. So index about, contact, single. We can gather few information. So we have this email, this phone number. Actually, now we have names. Let me check. So here we have client 1, client 2, but in the about page, so there is some difference. And in the blog, we have blogs. We can check for XSS or something, but I don't think we are interested. We see Johnson as well, Watson. We can take all these usernames. Actually, let's start with the usernames. Let me check the Nmap and export all of these. So Nmap is telling us we have DNS. Let me do no auth DNS and see. So we have sauna.egolosticalbank.local. We have only this NS record. We have this A record, but I don't think that's our way in. We can see 445, we have enumerated that. There is 636 and 3268, which are LDAP, and we have WinRM. So we can try no auth LDAP as well. So the DCIB should be is equal to IB. And let's try again. So it was not successful. It didn't work as well. That's okay. Okay. I'm going to check the usernames that we found. I'm going to start with this in the about HTML and then check the usernames of the people that commented. Do we find anything in here? Like I'm going to enumerate for versions, nothing in here. Maybe WordPress. So last machine you can check last machine where we found WordPress, and Nmap found WordPress probably through reading the source code. We can check as well for 1.0, 2.0, 3.0. We found 3.0, but it's for license. Okay, I'm going to close the source code for now. So we have this, and we have about HTML. Probably we can use tools for that, like username Anarchy. Let me go to opt, check what we have in here. So Creds display, RustHound, targeted Kerbrute, username Anarchy. So it's in opt progs username Anarchy. That's okay. Let's go to progs. And what do we have in here? We have username Anarchy in here. And we need to get the usernames. So I'm going to make a new file called potential users, vim potential users.txt, and I'm going to save the usernames in here. Or we can use cell and give it the IP. Actually, let's go with that. I'm going to give this IP. So it's going to, I forgot actually the flags, dash help. So we have the dash D, the depth. I'm going to leave that 3. And dash M, minimum word length. So let's check for 8. I believe 8 is the minimum. So I'm going to take or define that as 8. I'm going to remove the dash help. And let's get the doc words. Do we see our users? So Hugo. Actually, we don't. default 3, max word, offsite, exclude, lowercase with numbers. So probably when it's taking that, oops, when it's taking that, it's not taking this because it's either dividing by that or I don't really know, but we need to do that for now manually. So vim potential users, I keep going to that page mistakenly. I'm going to do that manually. Let me know in the comment section how did you copy the usernames. I mean, in a pen testing scenario, I would obviously not copy paste that. I would write a script or see a tool that would do that on my behalf. But since we have only few users, we can now use the username Anarchy and give that. Now cat usernames. And here we have all the usernames that we can test. So now we have the usernames, but we don't have the password. What we can do? First of all, we can start with nxc smb ib-u potential users -p potential users, and let's see. You can stop the brute forcing and type no brute. So we cannot. It's not about the potential usernames. I have used the wrong file. That's why we had space. So now it seems better. We can see Fergus with Fergus, Fergus with Smith, Fergus.Smith with Fergus. And we can continue on success as well. I'm going to pause a little bit. So it has been running for a while and we see, well, since it's still running and we didn't have continuing success, then it didn't have any successful attempt. So I would stop and rethink my, I believe we can exit this, and rethink my choices. So what we have for now, we ran Nmap, we tried enumerating the DNS, we tried enumerating the HTTP, we tried enumerating the LDAP, we tried enumerating the SMB, but we can try as well the Kerberos. So to enumerate that, I have no auth Kerberos, and I provide the DCIP and the domain, and we have two types of or two modes in the script. One is incorporating usernames and the other is ASREP roasting. The first to just authenticate with the user and double check if the user is exists. Then we can use that user for the ASREP roasting attack. So I would start with one. Do we use this word script, word list or this or custom path? I would choose 3. Then we can provide the relative path, usernames.text. Okay, so where is the usernames? So move poll users and move usernames to root to delete. Then I'm going to, is it usernames? Okay, I'm going to repeat the same thing. And we see Kerbrute was done, tested for 54 usernames, 0 valid. Let me check. Okay, so that's why we didn't have any um, success with this usernames using um, our tool. That's why I'm going to make a new, or I've already made username Anarchy. I've made an issue mentioning that, so it should provide the last name, first name, or last first, last dot first, last first, first dot last, and so on. So probably I'm going to make a pull request and make my own thing. For now, the correct username should be, after testing and so on, the correct username should be fsmith. So usernames, I'm going to add this here, fsmith, and then I'm going to cat, or not cat, rerun this. And we still have 0 valid. That's strange. Let's try with the script. No auth, Kerbrute username. I'm going to use the 10 million and wait a little bit. I'm going to pause. Okay, so I was testing my script and I've noticed that here it's taking the IP and as well as here the DC IP as dash t. So I was passing dash t as a parameter, but the script on GitHub, as I've written, doesn't indicate that we need to pass flags. Otherwise, we need to provide the DCIP in the first parameter, or more precisely second, and then the domain as third. Then using this as like this, and then typing Kerbrute, custom path, usernames.text, and we see fsmith, or Kerbrute using this dataset, Zeto net 10 million usernames.text, waiting a little bit, and hopefully we would see fsmith as in here. So I tried that, and it got that, but it's gonna take a little bit of time. Oh, it got administrator for now, but eventually it's going to get the fsmith. And let me go to here, and if we go to username Anarchy, or if you go to my GitHub, Strikoder GitHub, and go into this repo, username, and if you visit username Anarchy extended, by the end of the video, I'm going to make a pull request and update my repo and include all the stuff that discussed in the issue on the main repo. Going back to the issue, we have seen that fsmith is a user. So where do we go from now? I'm going to stick with the no auth Kerberos and try to roast that, and custom path usernames.text again. And we see the first one, we got a hash. That's great. So just in case, I like to cover everything. So let's say we haven't seen this, where we go from that point. So we have fsmith. We can either, that's probably not gonna work, take this fsmith as a password and spray that against all the user, or mostly it would be fsmith as username and fsmith as a password if that was not the case, if we haven't got this hash. But for now we got that. I'm going to take it and then I'm going to save this as hashes dot kerberost or asrep and save it in here. Then I'm going just to search for asrep and find, oh, I'm going to search more precisely for hashes.asrep and find the hashcat for that. Actually, I will not use any rule and I'm using RockQ, and hopefully it won't take much time while I'm recording, so it's definitely gonna take a little bit longer, but hopefully we'll see that in the beginning of RockQ, and yes we have. So the password is the strokes 23. Where do we go from now? We have export all user equal or pass equals to this. Actually, we don't have any special characters, so I'm going to omit the single quotations and export all user is fsmith. So now we can try nxc smb ib-u user-b and check, do we have SMB access? Yes, we do. -- users. So now we see a few descriptions. We have FS Smith and HS Smith. We can add those. Actually, you know what? We can run all the scripts that I have. So auth SMB, user and pass and domain. Then auth, or let me check what auth do I have. So my commands, and I have, where do I find them? So here are the no auth. We have auth SMB, auth Kerberos, and auth LDAP. Auth Kerberos is for Kerberostable attack. So we see ASREP roasting again. We see Kerberosting and both. Actually, let's try both of them. In the ASREP roasting, we would see the same FS Smith. Actually, do we? So FS Smith. And what's the user we are using? Is it echo user? So yeah, it's the same user. And we see a SBN H Smith, but we failed to get, because we have the C cache in here, so we need to use unset and then run this again, both. So clock skew too great. We need to update the clock. We provide this. Actually, let me check. So this is the only clock I have. Let me clear this. So NT update it was like that. NT update. So probably like this. So the NT update IP. Nope. NTP date maybe. So yeah, we need to provide systemctl restart, set ntb no, and sudo ntb date dash u ip. Then let's try again using this, actually using auth, Kerbrute, both attacks, and now we get a hash. We can save that. And then, but I'm not where I want to be, so I'm going to go from here. We have here a right disk. We can try and check what is in here, as well as we can add a file to give us a reverse shell if someone is checking that. Here we see the description of everyone. We can check for a password in here, but I don't see any password, to be honest. So we can keep that in mind, and then hashes dot Kerbrute. I'm going to stick that in here. Then hashes dot Kerbrute and search for the Hashcat, which is 3100. I'm going to do this and wait a little bit because I'm recording. It's gonna take a little bit of time, and hopefully it's going to be finished by now. I'm going to pause. So the moment I paused, I got this. So echo pass. So it's the same password for hsmith. So we have them users.txt. It's opened other place. I'm going to quit. Do we have that opened other way in here? No. Them usernames dot text h smith. Actually, we should have tried that nxc, and we can try first of all getting all the usernames either by getting them from here or by smb users export, I believe. Yeah, export. So I'm going to do it like this. Then nxc smb ib dash u users dash b the pass we had, and try to authenticate. So actually continue on success. And we see it worked with both hsmith and fsmith. We can try with WinRM. Do we get success on both? So we get only on fsmith. Okay, so we go from there. Evil-WinRM. I'm going, no, not password 2, password 1. And we are connected. So first of all, I like to check in here, or let's say 3. All of them are empty. Okay, so all folders are almost empty. Do we provide -f? No, so basically the stuff inside fsmith are empty. Don't we get the... Let me check again. fsmith. So change directory. fsmith. Maybe like this. And then cd desktop. Actually, we have the user.txt. Let me check the tree command. So it should have been like this. Okay, now it's better. So cd to desktop. I just pulled that out of my notes, so I have that. Makes life easier. Let me get that out of the way. So using the tree, we see the flag. Have I printed that out? Yeah, here it is. And I'm going to paste this into here. So where do we go from here? We can upload WinPEAS. So let's locate WinPEAS, and it's in here. I'm going to take this because this is what I usually use. And foreground, upload this. Okay. Copy this into here. Foreground, upload WinPEAS latest.exe. So the issue was that WinPEAS latest was not in the same directory, and Evil-WinRM could not reach that directory. It reaches only the current one. Unlike, if you don't know that catcher, you can check Penelope. Thanks. Shout out to Brito or Brito. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Here you can just use or select whatever directory you wish and upload the binary or the script. So let's wait for WinPEAS to be uploaded. I'll start by WinPEAS, then if I haven't found anything, I'll start going by my notes. So usually I would see who am I dash all and see if I have any privileges. Then the CMD key list, PS lockdown, then start using power up and enumerating manually. Then going to Snaffler, Lasagna, Joe's maybe, seatbelt, sharp up, and so on. For now, I'm going to wait for this and I'm going to pause. It's finished. Now let's run that. Let me check. So it's in here. WinPEAS latest.exe. So why I have latest in that? Because I have the casual WinPEAS, and in many CTFs, I really don't like the many stuff that WinPEAS print, so I deleted few stuff and recompiled that. Don't have anything in here. Let me go down below. I don't see any password or anything. So cached logon is almost always 10. Here, probably it's going to be stuck. I'm going to pause and see if it's going to be stuck or not. So whenever you see the thank you, then you know it's finished. So if you go up, I prefer to go up to WinPEAS latest. So here we began. Where we began, we have seen we got stuck here a little bit. NTLM, nothing in here. The pipes, I don't think it's going to be our way in. Users, here we see the users that we might hop onto. Maybe we can either go to administrator immediately, or maybe we need to go to Smith. We see a service account, so maybe any other attack, including services, could be possibly made, like server ticket. Folders, we have access only the fsmith, and we see for autologon we see monkeys. Monkey makes the word ground. Let's go up again. Monkey. Is it money? It is. I thought it's monkey. Money makes the word ground. Yeah, of course. I agree. So I would let me search that again. Is it for a specific user? So it's for the SVC. That's great. I'm going to come into here, export user equals to SVC. But SVC what? Loan manager. And export password is equal to this, but since we have an exclamation mark, we need which is a special character considered in Linux, we need to add single quotation. Now I'm probably going to exit Evil-WinRM, and what can we do from here? We can try SMB or netexec WinRM, the new user and new pass. So I used only export. If I try to echo the user in here, it's still fsmith. I want only with this tmax pane panel. I don't really know. Correct me in the comment section if you would. We don't have WinRM over that. Maybe SMB. We still don't. That's strange. Where do we go from here? Like, if no WinRM, maybe LDAP. Dash help. NXC dash help. So we have SSH maybe, and I don't think we had SSH opened. Without the dash help. No, we didn't have SSH open. That's why it got stuck a little bit. What's the issue? Have I copied that correctly? Let me check. So the password, I'm almost certain it is correct. Let me copy the username. So export user is equal to this nxc smb ib-u user-b pass. Still not correct. WinRM. Okay, that's strange. Let's go back into here. Do we get any other instance of that? No, we don't. So we have, maybe we can use the password and spray against other users. Like, okay, so the name is like this. So if I export user like this, and then nxc that, so now it's bound. Let's check now with the SMB. Now it's bound as well. Well, it's not bound, but I mean we have access. We don't see bound. Whenever you see bound, then you are almost definitely an administrator on that machine, either local or not. Actually, let's try -- local. local auth. No, it's not. Okay, so where do we go from here? Now, whenever I have more than 2 users on a Windows machine, I would almost immediately, let me change to here, almost immediately think about BloodHound. So BloodHound CLI up, and I would make the container running. Let's go into here and then BloodHound, search for the command. Well, I don't usually use BloodHound, I use RustHound. So -d domain -u for user. Maybe I would use this in here to use the user in this place. Failed to look. ls. What is going on? So RustHound -d domain -u user at domain -p for pass. Maybe I need to add that into here. Now it's running. So the issue was whenever I run that, it's trying to look for the domain's IP, and it didn't find that in the etc hosts. And okay, maybe now we can move this. This file into the home directory. So here http local 8080. We have the BloodHound. The password expired. I'm going to make a new one. I'm going to pause a little bit. I made a new one and signed in. So here is our password. Administrator, nope. Download, nope as well. Profile. I always don't really know where to press. Not in here, not in here. Where do I find the files that I uploaded? Let me try and upload again. Upload, close. So here is the history. So from the administrator tab, yeah, okay. And we see it's still ingesting. Complete. Let's go to explore. SVC. We have that. Not starting void. Add to owned. And what user do we have? fsmith. We have that. Now we go to Cypher, and I have few of saved queries. So we know the ASREP, we know we had the server, we had the SVC, maybe we had the hash. Now we know the password. It's for the hsmith. If it was for the SVC, maybe I would thought about that. Shortest path from owned. That's, oh my god. So what do we have in here? We have this. And what do we have as well? And we have this. So this have only inbound, so probably our way would be from here. This has outbound. So the outbound of this is get changes all, and DCSync. DCSync, you can abuse that with secretsdump. Let's go to secretsdump. Secretsdump domain, but not in here. I prefer to do that in here. Pass IB, but we don't have the pass. Or we do? Yes, we do. Now we have, hopefully, fingers crossed, the administrator hash. Now, Evil-WinRM -h invalid hash, maybe the full hash. Still, we need only to provide the LM part. Fingers crossed. Are we connected? No, we are not, because I'm providing the user as user, not as administrator. Now we should be connected. Should we? Let me try bsexec dot python dash hashes and administrator at the IB. Let me provide this. So we are connected through this, but not through Evil-WinRM. Maybe I need to provide this. Nope. Provide this. Invalid. Maybe to only paste this. So we need to provide the NT part. I was incorrect. We go a step backward and type the root.txt. So, and this is the last flag. Please guys, don't forget to make sure to like, share, make a comment and subscribe to the video. And this is the last flag. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section. See you next time.